All right, let's do this. We are live. Let's see who else is awake out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. I am Matt Arts with Halloween Daily News. And if you are new here, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, friend, I don't know what to call you guys. Friends, we're all pals. We're all good friends here on Monday night. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back, guys. It's Monday, April 26, 2021. And got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. I think it's fun. I think we got some interesting updates, a few news items, quite a few actually, that we're going to talk about. Got a new photo from the set of HK that we'll dig into in a minute, and we'll share some Triple M posts. But first of all, how's everybody doing tonight? I see Phil is in here. I see Fazbear is here. Ken, welcome. And Buccaneer Bruce, welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I see Saints up in here. There's Sammy. Lots of familiar faces. I say faces. You know what I mean. I see your names. I see your faces in my heads. So great to see everybody. If you're new here again, feel free to chime in. It is open chat time. That's what it's all about here. Of course, the great David Suber up in here again this week. David, I want to personally thank you again for your purchases last week. David cleaned us out on a couple of our fear fresheners that we were low in stock on and that I was talking about last week. And we're out of stock of a couple of them this week, thanks to our good buddy David. So there's Summit. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. As people are filtering in and finding the feed and the notifications are going out, I'm just going to do a quick little show and tell. I don't have too much to show tonight, and don't really have a new video clip. I do have a flashback video. We might show if we have time later, but I'm probably going to try to keep everything around an hour tonight. Tomorrow's actually my son's birthday. He's turning 14 tomorrow. So I'm going to get out of here a little bit earlier than the last few weeks and get to wrapping some gifts for tomorrow and get to celebrating his big day. So first off, just some quick in-stock notifications, a couple cool things, and David Suber can testify to the awesomeness of this guy right here. That is the officially licensed Halloween 2 Michael Myers keychain. And we've got them in stock right this minute at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. And I'm going to pull up they're $12 plus shipping. These are metal keychains, officially licensed from Halloween 2, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, right now. So we've got that guy, and while we're talking about Halloween 2, also still in stock, going fast, but we've still got some. These are the officially licensed Halloween 2 reaction figure. This is the 3 3/4 inch released by Super 7. And we're going to talk about Fright Rag's new version, their own version of these retro styled figures that they unveiled this week after announcing them last week. They very politely unveiled them today on Michael Myers Monday to give us a little more to talk about tonight. But we have these, and these are $18 plus shipping. And again, the idea with these vintage figures, as I'll discuss a little bit more in a minute, is they're not your NECA, they're not your sideshow super detailed sculpts. It's more about that vintage feel, and specifically the look of the old Star Wars figures from Kenner back in the late 70s and early 80s. All right, let's get back over here. All right. Thanks for the birthday wishes to HDN Jr. Thanks, guys. He will love that. I appreciate that. My son's name is Ozzy. He will definitely appreciate that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get into some news items right now. And I'm going to try to get through these, and we'll just talk as we go. And I will, we'll take a little break here and there and talk about, um, you know, whatever you guys want to get into. I will do my best to respond to your comments in the live chat. Um, you know, as it goes. Sometimes I'm gonna miss some. I'm not ignoring you guys, but I'm gonna try to respond to as much as I can. The supers are enabled, that is there. And if you've definitely got something that you absolutely want me to see or answer, that's the best way. And just while I'm on that, real quick, we've got a new T-shirt that is available in our Teespring store. And at the top of this live chat, if you see that blue link up there, that is to our brand new design, and it is the Halloween Daily News. Well, I think I can probably pull it up for you over here, and let's see. That's it. We've got tees and hoodies, and that's the premium tee. That's $26.99. We got classic style for $24.99. We've got women's tees. We've even got long sleeve and hoodies, and I just want to let you know about that. You will see that up in the chat, like I said, up at the top, where it says that we are basically promoting a specific product this week, showcasing it, I guess, is the word they use. All right. So let's go over. And there's links to those down below here, of course, in the description of the video as well. Great name. Thank you, Ken. Yeah. It's actually spelled Ozzzie and not with a Y like Ozzy Osbourne, but that's, that was part of it for sure. All right, guys. So let's get into tonight's news. We've got some HK news, but before we even get to that, I want to talk just quickly about Halloween Ends, because I have been, we've been talking on here for weeks, when and where is Halloween Ends going to film. And I've been saying for weeks that it's looking more and more like fall, and I've said that, by all indications that I've been seeing, and just my gut feeling on everything, and putting everything that's known and everything that's been said together, it looks like fall. And I've been saying back here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And this story is not something that I've even put up on the website yet, but this is really just not confirmation, but just yet another signpost that really seems to be pointing us toward Halloween Ends filming this fall back in Wilmington, North Carolina, where they filmed Halloween Kills back in the fall of 2019. I've explained numerous reasons in the past about why this is very likely, especially given COVID protocols. This is where Scream filmed last fall, still in the thick of the pandemic. This is where the recent movie, the Black Phone, with directed by Scott Derrickson. It's a new Blumhouse feature coming out next year. They just filmed that, and it's where they've got Screen Gems Studios, huge warehouses, sound stages. It's where they filmed the Swamp Thing series. So in other words, and that's where they filmed a lot of Halloween Kills. They recreated a lot of their version of Haddonfield was on these sound stages and warehouses. So I've been, saying that if I had to guess and predict, that's where it's going to be. And this is just another piece of that story that points again to this being what's going to happen. Again, it is not confirmed at this point, but I will tell you what I've got. And this is from an article that was published today. This is a Wilmington-based newspaper called Star News. You can see there, Wilmington film industry 2021 could be one of its most productive years ever. And it's a great article. They talk about all of these really great projects that are either currently filming or have recently wrapped filming in Wilmington. But let's go all the way down here, all the way down. There we go. So you can see right there where it's highlighted. What they say right here at the very end, the last two paragraphs, is the key part. Chief among this year's anticipated but as yet unannounced productions, meaning productions that will film in Wilmington, is another feature from Blumhouse. According to a news release from the North Carolina Film Office, quote, this yet to be named project has been approved for a grant of up to $7 million and will begin production in the second half of 2021 after being pushed from 2022 due to COVID-19, end quote. And then this article, this author even goes further in the next sentence to say it's widely believed, though not confirmed, that the production will be Halloween Ends, the third movie in director David Gordon Green's trilogy revisiting the iconic Halloween horror franchise. So, again, not confirmed and not officially announced, but and I did confirm this grant news with the North Carolina Film Office. I did. It is right there in their most recent press release. So that much is happening. You know, there's a Blumhouse feature that will film in Wilmington in the second half of 2021. It has already been approved for a film here in North Carolina. They have a film incentive program where you can get grants and also tax refunds on money spent in North Carolina, and that's a big reason why a lot of productions come here. All the states have different versions of it, but North Carolina, about 10 years ago, had a really great incentive program. It kind of fell apart for a while, and now it's kind of back. It's really working out for the state, and also in this time we're in right now, as it's turned out. So I think that's huge that they've already been approved for the grant. Now that, again, none of this means that stuff can't still change, but it's already been approved for the grant, and specifically it is a Blumhouse feature, that was pushed from 2020 due to COVID-19. Now, pushed meaning, the production was pushed from, taking place in 2020 like it was scheduled to do. So this is pretty huge. And again, this is not, they go to great pains in those to make clear it is not confirmed and not announced, but it is widely believed within the film industry here in the state and specifically in the Wilmington area. This goes along with everything that I've been saying and hearing and saying to you guys. James speculated that it would probably be towards the end of this year. James Hugh Courtney, when I interviewed him, of course, nothing is set. Did you hear Sean and Christopher's live episode on Friday night? Christopher, he didn't say the words Halloween Kills, but he did say that he very well is expecting that he might be filming a certain movie around September. And bear in mind that it was fall, specifically September, October, right through the Halloween holiday of 2019 when they shot Halloween Kills. Now, Halloween 2018 was shot in the winter of 2018. Halloween Kills was shot in the fall, specifically the Halloween season right over Halloween itself there in Wilmington. And so, given everything that has come out about this, I think this is yet another just really good indication that it's. I mean, clearly it's going to happen in the second half of the year. That could mean anytime after July 1st, and it could film over the summer. But I think, again, going with everything going on, I think it just makes all the sense in the world that right around Labor Day or so, principal photography will most likely be kicking off. Most likely in Wilmington is what it's looking like. Again, shit could change. It does often. But the fact that they're already approved for that grant, I think that's a big thing. And it also makes total sense they would already be approved because, when they were getting their incentives and their grants for Halloween Kills, at that time they were planning to shoot and then shoot that film as early as originally they were going to shoot as early as well, at one point they were going to shoot them back to back, but once they actually got down to it, they knew they were going to take a little break. They didn't know how big of a break, and so I totally think that they're going to they would have worked that grant out. They would have they've already got the foot in the door with the film commission. And again, nobody can say the words. And even when they can say that something's filming, it will have a working title. They're not going to be saying straight up, "This is the new Halloween movie that's filming." But we'll start to see things and casting notices and stuff, and it will become apparent. And it sounds like the film office is going to really take some pride and announce this officially, very possibly. So, but we'll have to see on that. All right. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. I don't know if I said that enough at the beginning, but happy Michael Myers Monday. So there we go. There's some Halloween Ends news. Where's it going to shoot? Very likely Wilmington, North Carolina. Not set in stone yet, but I'm keeping my ear to the ground and trying to get that locked in and confirmation as soon as we can. And who knows, maybe HDN takes a trip out to Wilmington while they're shooting. Never know. All right, I see Byron has joined us. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Byron. There's Sammy, Phil. Vibes is back. Connor Owens, what's up, man? Awesome. Looks like we got lots of good folks up in here tonight. All right. There's Matt V. Awesome. Cheers, David. Yeah, we'll cheers again. Happy Michael Myers Monday because, any movement with HE, with HNs, that's positive. I've heard a lot of you guys question, a lot of you guys have questioned if Halloween Kills is going to get delayed again. And I've said, I don't think so. I'd be surprised. A lot of you guys are questioning if Halloween Ends is going to film this year or not. I think it will. I've said if it doesn't, they've got until winter of next year, technically. I mean, again, the 2018 film didn't even start shooting until winter, and they were done by, Valentine's Day that year. So anything's possible. David Gordon Green and those guys, they work super fast. Blumhouse, they work super fast. We know this. And we also have a feeling, at least from what they've suggested, what David Gordon Green has said in interviews, that Halloween Ends, while Halloween Kills is going to get much bigger than 2018 was, and that's going to be the big expansive thing about community and community fear, viral fear, he said. These are all things that he said out publicly in interviews over the last 2 years. But he's also indicated that, by all accounts, Halloween Ends will bring it back home and be a little more intimate again, I think. And I think it makes total sense. This one, we're going to get just the wide, massacre, but also the wide effects, the community effects of, a serial killer coming back 4 years later after devastating this town and staining this town. So definitely looking forward to all that. And of course, we'll be right here And if they're shooting in fall, again, how perfect is that going to be? There'll be a few shots released. HK comes out October 15th. 2 weeks later, it's Halloween Day, October 31st. Maybe they're about to wrap. Maybe we get another, I don't know, 30-second behind the scenes little montage. See you next Halloween for the end. Um, that's what happened in 2019 when they wrapped filming. So we can hope. But we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, the new Scream filmed in Wilmington as well. Yes. Um, they did not have any complications. They did at one point. The only thing that came out, at least publicly, regarding COVID and them filming, a couple crew members, I think it was two or three crew members did test positive during production, and they ended up. It was like a Thursday, I think, and they wrapped early that day, and they did not film the following day. But then, like that Monday, they were right back at it. Just those crew members obviously were quarantined and so forth. Because what I understand, there's been a lot of articles written about the filming of Scream and the protocols that they were following. And one of the things was they were keeping the actors, anybody that was going to be on camera, and really the primary, like the director and DP, these personnel, they were keeping very isolated from everybody that they didn't absolutely have to be around. And again, a lot of that movie shot at Screen Gems at those giant warehouse sound stages where, I mean, if they could create the swamps of Swamp Thing, they can literally do anything there. They just shot a film that article I showed you, they just shot a film um, that takes place on the International Space Station, and they recreated that on those sound stages. So they can literally do anything there. And that is where they created a lot of whatever we're going to see in Halloween Kills, whether it's flashback stuff, which we're going to talk and speculate a little bit about here in a minute, or whatever it is. So anyway, that's a good segue, I think, um, to Halloween Kills. And the news bite that we got this week regarding that, and that came in the form of a photo from producer Ryan Freeman. Now, those of you that don't know, Ryan is, of course, he's basically Malik's right-hand man with Trinkus. He is, executive VP of Trinkus, and he's right there. He's been very involved in the children's book. Now they're doing merchandise for that. I don't have those images queued up for you tonight. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But you've heard me talk about the book plenty. But yeah, let me pull this over here and show you what he shared. And you guys have seen this, I know. I know you have already seen it, but let's check it out anyway. This is, of course, yeah. He posted this 2 days ago, and he says classic car ... hashtag Halloween kills, hashtag Halloween drive my car. Yeah, so everybody's going wild. What's going on with this photo? Now, of course, you guys know what's up with this car. We all recognize it, right? I don't have to tell you guys. I don't think I have to tell you guys. Yeah, hey jerk, speed kills. Right. I mean, this is the car. This is when we meet Loomis and Nurse Marion in the opening of the 78 film. Of course, they are in this car on their way to Smith's Grove. And then they get there, and Michael does what he does, takes the car. Nobody knows how he learned how to drive. It's a great mystery. Maybe they're going to explain it in HK. I don't know. But in any case, it appears that Ryan Freeman is suggesting or teasing, and he could just be fucking with us for all we know. But I mean, we know flashback scenes were shot. How much of the flashback scenes will make the final cut that is released in theaters? I'm not going to speculate on that tonight, but we know they were shot. That that is a fact. This obviously, well, it's not obvious. We don't know when they might use this vehicle. It could very easily be something just in the background as a cool Easter egg. Kind of like the Silver Shamrock trick or treaters were in 2018, where they don't even make a big deal about it, but for us fans, we're just all geeking out. It very well could be something like that, like a cool background detail. But on the other hand, it could very well, play a role in the plot of the film and in the flashback sequence or sequences. We don't know how many flashback scenes. Will there be one? Will there be one that's broken up and told throughout the film, or will there be more than one? We don't know this for sure. Any of this, and I don't want to know this until I see the movie. But this obviously exciting. Anytime we get at this stage, we're waiting for that teaser poster. We're itching for more just content, and yeah. So just any time that somebody with Trancas or Blumhouse, releases anything with the hashtag Halloween Kills, we're all, I think you guys like myself are just chomping at the bit for more. So I'm curious what you guys think is up with this. Again, keep it spoiler free if you don't mind. We want to respect everybody, and certainly I, as a fan, I want to go in as spoiler free as possible. I mean, certain things I'll know ahead of time. I mean, a few things I kind of know now, but you know, as much as possible, I want to go in, as spoiler free as possible, so that I can enjoy it as it's intended to be. All that being said, what do you guys think is up with the classic car? You know, uh, Last we saw it, it was there on the street. Loomis spotted it. That's how he knew that Michael, where he was. He had been hanging out at the Myers house looking for him, and Michael is meanwhile messing with Lori and her friends the whole time over at the Wallace and the Doyle houses. So it's very pivotal. We know that again, Nurse Marion's going to be in it. We know in that teaser we saw. I think it was actually the behind the scenes teaser. We got a glimpse of them recreating the scene with Nurse Marion, and in the original film, it was Nick Castle as the Shape, and he gets on top of the car and he busts out the window, and you can even see in the '78 film, it's one of those great kind of mistakes that has made the film even legendary in its mistakes. But you can see the wrench in his hand when he busts the window, and she's sitting there terrified. And we've already seen that a quick glimpse of that recreation that they're doing. So will she be actually sitting in the same vehicle when that echoing scene happens this time in the new film? I don't know. I'm speculating like you guys. I don't know, but I'm curious what you guys think, and if you're watching this on a replay, I'm curious. Let me know in the comments down below, and if you're here right now, you guys tell me what you think. I mean, clearly, I think we agree it's the flashback, and I say the flashback. I mean, like I said, there might be more than one. It might be brief. It might, we don't know these things for sure. But in any case, like I said, to see something new that we haven't seen yet, and to see the care. This is what I've always loved, and I loved seeing in 2018 even the care that they were taking to get things right. The Warren County sheriff's vehicles and just everything that they did. I mean, I remember when those gas station photos came out, and they created their own labels for the gas station, and even that was like obsessing over. I mean, these are just details that films put together, and that turned out not to be a big plot point in itself, but it was world building at its best, and transporting you into their version of Haddonfield, which doesn't exist, obviously, and it's not exactly going to be Carpenter's, although it looks like they're going to be going even further in tapping into the '78 film. And so in any case, yeah, David says authenticity. Yeah, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. The authenticity of what they're going for. Um, and so to see that, and hopefully, guys like Ryan Freeman and they're going to start, sharing a few more little tidbits here as we go. Again, I don't want spoilers. I don't think any of us really want spoilers, but yeah, it's time. We're within 6 months now. You know, let's get that poster out. Let's get a good look at the mask, maybe. I mean, again, I can't imagine they're going to wait until October 15th for us to see the mask. I mean, when we've got NECA, certain retailers are taking pre-orders for that NECA Ultimate figure that we talked about last week. They're taking pre-orders saying it's going to ship in September. And a lot of you guys have asked me, some of you here and other people have asked in the last week, don't you think that some of the accessories might be spoilery? And yeah, I do think that they could be, and I'm a little sketchy about that. I'm gonna assume that they're not gonna be too spoilery, or else it wouldn't be released prior to the film's release. Um, and also, I mean, you got to think maybe certain things look one way at one stage of the film, like in the beginning, and we see stuff like that up close and maybe a poster or a uh, trailer, and by the end of the film, maybe things look different. Maybe the mask looks different by then, and of course, if I'm NECA, then that's next year's Ultimate Buyers figure. So, yeah, Vibe says true Halloween fans will know that Michael won't die in ends. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, even if he dies, he's not. I mean, we know the ends is not the end. We know this. Yeah, yeah. I mean, no doubt. And Michael can never truly die. I mean, the evil, the shape can never die. That thing that Reverend Sayer in Halloween 4 is hunting. That it's that evil. That can certainly never die. I mean, it could hypothetically inhabit another vessel, but yeah, we know that Michael will be back in some form eventually. All right, moving on to our next news item tonight. I showed you the Super 7 H2 that we're selling, that we have in stock, and last week we talked about Fright Rags revealing that they are releasing their own version. They're not called reaction figures. They're just calling them their version of Fright Rags action figures, but they are very similar. They're the 3¼ inch, 5 points articulation, just like the old Star Wars Kenner figures. And again, the point in these figures is not to be super sculpted. Excuse me. But to, you know, to hit those retro vibes, that nostalgia button is what they're hitting. And they definitely check that box. Today, Michael Myers Monday of all days, they revealed the figures themselves. So we got some pictures and the full packaging. Now, they do say that these photos are from the painted prototypes, so they are not actually, um, the finished thing might look a little bit different, in other words. But this is a pretty good representation, and this is the prototypes, excuse me. So let's go ahead and go over to Michael first. There you can see that is the Michael Myers figure. He comes with the Judith Myers tombstone as an accessory, and of course a butcher knife as another accessory. You can see the packaging there. The card back is the art on the card back is done by artist Justin Osborne, and you can see that is a shot that is actually in his rendition of a photograph, not an actual still from the film, but an actual photograph from the set of the film. The photo was by Kim Gottlieb Walker. For all you super geeks out there, you probably already know this. That is Nick Castle, and yeah, she had them pose for a lot of photos while they were filming, and I interviewed her and talked about all that. You can see on the back, it's pretty awesome. They got a little bio of Michael, and then down below they say that you can mail in 2 proofs of purchase for a free mail away comic book. And if you look closely, the 3 comic book titles, I mean, this is genius to me. The comic book titles are the titles that Tommy Doyle has in the film when he's talking to Laurie Strode. It's Neutron Man and Tarantula Man, and I forget what the other one is. But I mean, how awesome is that? Now, I do not believe they're going to actually do the mail away comic book. Um, that's not been 100% confirmed, but I'm assuming it's just a because the old figures would have stuff like that, and many of us, myself included, did do those mailaways and get those awesome figures. I love that they also show illustrating the articulation, show him, slashing at the Laurie figure, and of course it teases the Laurie and the Linda figures there too, also available. Collect them all, but yeah, I love that special comic book mail away. And yeah, it was Laser Man is the other comic book. Laser Man, Tarantula Man, and Neutron Man. All right, let's go to Laurie now. Here's the Laurie figure. And again, this is, years and years, decades we went and never an officially licensed Laurie Strode figure. And, now we've gotten a few from NECA. We got the 2018 Ultimate, and we got the H2. And Super 7 just put out their H2 of Laurie earlier this year. And now we have the 78 Laurie Strode. And you can see she actually includes 3 accessories. She's got her own butcher knife, naturally, coat hanger, of course, and the opening credits jack-o'-lantern. And of course, she's wearing her bell-bottom blue jeans, and that is her blue blouse pre being sliced at the arm. And her packaging, again, very similar to Michael's. And last but definitely not least on this list, in fact, probably the one I'm most excited about because there's never been one. For the first time ever, it's Linda Vanderclock, played by the great and awesome PJ Souls. I love this image that they released of her in front of Haddonfield High School with the tickets on sale. I mean, just like out of the movie. Her accessory is her purse, and you can see in the packaging, again, these are not stills from the film. This is all artwork by Justin Osborne, but he does a great job of, very lifelike actually, of PJ as Linda, wearing this outfit earlier in the day on October 31st, 78, and holding her purse, of course. So the deal with these figures is they're $20 each, and what Fright Rags is doing is they are taking pre-orders starting the day after tomorrow, which means starting on Wednesday, April 28th. Let's see, let's pull that over there. So starting Wednesday, April 28th through next Tuesday, May 4th, they will be taking pre-orders. That is 1 week only, 7 days at the official Fright Rags website. It is fright-rags.com. And you want to pre-order these because then after that, they're going to cut it off and they're going to ship in the fall or maybe even as late as winter because, they're expecting, and I'm expecting, they're going to get a shit ton of pre-orders. I know I'm going to be getting at least one of each, probably 2 of each. Because again, I typically like to open my figures and get my hands on them display them, pose them for photos, and so forth. Uh, but with these, part of the fun is those awesome card backs and having them in the package. So, with the new H2s, I got one to open for myself and display with my original 78 reaction from years ago. And then I also got one to keep in the package. So I might do that again with each of these. But I will absolutely be getting at least one of each, if not more. Um, and I'll be acting early, like Wednesday morning. So you guys let me know, are you going to be picking up these figures, or are they just not for you? Are you more, do you like action figures? I mean, again, to me, these things, they hit a sweet spot that is very close to my heart because I grew up, a Star Wars fanatic and just an action figure guy. I played with action figures all the time as a kid. And whether, it was Star Wars or Transformers or G.I. Joe or He-Man or whatever. So, when companies like Fright Rags and Super 7 and NECA in these recent years have done these kind of retro styled, you know, figures of the horror icons. I mean, it's just unbelievable that, we live in a time where this exists, honestly. It's pretty unbelievable. So, because I collected these things and I always loved the card backs and would save them as a kid. Like I would open things and play with them. Like I played with my toys, but I would also save, the card backs and stuff like that. I was kind of a weirdo like that, I guess. But, that, I'm a collector today. And especially when it comes to stuff like figures. Like I would say I collect the figures much more so than like the masks. I own some masks, and I own quite a few masks, but I don't own every one. I don't own, a lot. I don't own a super screen accurate and certainly no screen used masks. But I got a ton of awesome figures, and you know, as I've said before, for decades there wasn't much at all. And really, it was just, in the early 2000s when we got the first few ever. And now, though, we're getting new Myers figures from multiple companies every year, all price ranges, all, levels of affordability, collectability, everything from the Funkos, all the way up to the super high dollar, sideshow figures. And these are, they're super affordable if you ask me. I mean, $20 for something like this, I think it's a great deal. And it's just that little piece of nostalgia that it hits for me. But you guys tell me if you're going to be getting your own. All right, Chad Francis. Welcome, Chad. Dropping 5 and another 5. Hello, sir. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Chad is an awesome friend out there. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, Chad has inquired how he can help support. He's a fan of everything we do here at HDN and loves the Michael Myers Monday live broadcast. So thank you, Chad. Thank you so much. And again, if you guys are wondering, that is a way that you can help. Is doing those super chats. I mean, whether it's $1, $5, I mean, every little bit. And of course, merch at our store that goes directly to helping us stay in business and keep the lights on around here and keep things going. And also merch at our Teespring store, whether it's HDN merch, which you can now get from our Teespring store. And we'll have that at our own store as well soon. But you can do that, and you can also, I see Halloween franchise fan. I changed my whole name and profile. Well, what was your previous name, franchise fan? Now we don't recognize you. Chad has all the retro clothed figures. Okay, cool. Yeah. I love those retro clothed figures. They are like the old school Migos, which Migo's back. That's another thing I've never talked about on here, not to get off subject, and I still got some news items to get to, but Mego last year was going to release a Myers figure. They're doing some modern horror stuff, and it was going to be Rob Zombie's Myers, and it ended up not happening. And I've tried to get a hold of them and actually reached out to them to try to get a statement on what happened. And I'm guessing it was just the licensing wasn't approved ultimately. I mean, the early shots, prototype shots I saw of the figure were not that impressive, really. So maybe it's all for the better. But I was just stoked to have any Myers stuff actually from Mego, because all those clothed figures to me kind of harken back to that in a way. But I love everything Nick is doing with that stuff. Okay. Franchise fan was aesthetic. Okay, I got you. Awesome. All right, let's toast Chad again for the super chat. Thank you, sir. Happy Michael Myers Monday. All right, got a few other things to let you guys know about. This one I've talked about before. I just want to remind you guys that this Saturday, May 1st, John Carpenter and Nick Castle are doing a live virtual Q&A, part of the GalaxyCon live experience. Carpenter did one in January on his birthday. Last month, Anthony Michael Hall did one. These are pretty fun, and it's free to watch the Q&A online. It's 2 p.m. this Saturday, May 1st. All you got to do is go to galaxyconlive.com, and you'll see their schedule of events. You go to this one. You tell them you want to register for the free Q&A, and they'll ask for your email, and they will email you a confirmation that you're registered, and then they'll send you a link on Saturday. Click here to watch it. And once you click, then you can opt to either participate in the live chat on that or not. And if you do, you can make your username whatever you want it to be. And all this is part of the free experience. So do the, you want to do the username as what we are here. That's what I'm going to do anyway. I'll be there as Halloween Daily News. And if any of you guys are going to be there watching, I was going to say, use your names that I will recognize you as here. So franchise fan, that means you got to be fan now. You got to, because that's how we're going to recognize you now. But all you guys, I would urge you, if you're around at 2 p.m. this Saturday, let's tune in together. We'll make it kind of a gathering and see how many of us show up over there on GalaxyCon. And who knows? I mean, you can ask a question. Maybe they'll ask it. They do take audience questions for most of the 45, 50-minute Q&A time. And then if you want, after that, there's optional things like you can get a one-on-one chat with Nick or John, or maybe Nick and John together. And I don't know exactly how all that works, but and I don't know what it costs, but you get, I imagine, 3, 4, 5 minutes one-on-one with them, kind of like the Cameo app. And you can also pre-order autographed items. All that's going on right now over on their website, galaxyconlive.com. And I mean, you can't tell me there's not going to be some Halloween Kills questions asked. What are they going to say about it? Not very much that we don't already know, I imagine. But nonetheless, it's going to be cool. I mean, how often are John Carpenter and Nick Castle, doing a free Q&A online? Well, in Carpenter's case, it's the second time in 4 months. But but yeah, I love what GalaxyCon is doing with these live things. So join me over there this Saturday, May 1st, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, Sideshow can get way pricey. You're right about that, Chad. I mean, they make beautiful work. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but yeah, they are pricey. The new Trick or Treat Studios figures are pricey. I do own the 78. We've got a couple of them left still for sale in our online shop right now. I was really impressed with what Trick or Treat has done. I want to see their 2018 1/6 scale. Speaking of convention appearances, Q&As, conventions are starting to come back to life a little bit, if you haven't noticed. it's looking like our first one back, HDN's first kind of back out at a convention, is most likely going to be Scares That Care in Williamsburg, Virginia. It's happening July 30th through August 1st. As it pertains to this franchise, PJ Souls is already announced as a guest there. So that's going to be awesome. Lots of other awesome people have already been announced. And it's a great event that is all for charity, so that makes it extra special. We're planning to attend that. Now, in September, though, September 18th and 19th of this year, it'll be the second annual Haunted Screams Expo. Now, this was supposed to take place last year. Their first one was in 2018. We were there. It was awesome. It was very kind of low key. This year's going to be bigger than ever. If you've been watching these lives or if you read our website, we revealed and got the exclusive that Tyler Main he was a guest in 2019. He's back. He's returning. And Scout Taylor Compton is going to join him. David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown and Terrifier, is also a guest. And tonight, right now, I'm going to officially reveal the next guest that is confirmed. I talked to the promoter. He is letting me give you guys the news first. And because it is an alum. Now, he's not best known for being an alum of this franchise, but he is part of the franchise, and I'm talking about Mr. Lou Temple. You know him, of course, from The Walking Dead, and probably, I would imagine, you guys would recognize him from The Devil's Rejects. He's also so memorable in Rob Zombie's 31, and he is in Rob Zombie's Halloween '07 Director's Cut. So Lou Temple and lots of other things. That's just some of his more notable uh, appearances that he's been in. But yeah, he was great in Walking Dead, great in Rejects 31, great in everything he does. I've never met him, so I'm looking forward to meeting him and hopefully speaking with him, and maybe getting a little bit of interview time. You never know. We'll see. But we will be there, and tickets are on sale now for this. It's hauntedscreams.com. Like I said, we'll be there. We'll have a table there. You can come and see us. You can meet me in person. If you're out here on the East Coast in the Virginia Tidewater area this September. It'll be a great way to really kick off the fall season, if you ask me. They do a haunted house on site. Like when you walk in after you do the admission, you'll go through the haunted house, and it's all going to be obviously COVID safe and compliant. The mask will be required. There'll be social distancing, whatever the mandatory regulations that are in place in Virginia at that time, as recommended by the CDC. That's what they'll be following. So you don't have to worry about any of that, and that just is a given. I would say with any event that's in the planning stages for the calendar year 2021 right now. Chad's going to Phantasm Monster Manor in Orlando. Yeah, I heard about that. That looks like it's going to be awesome too. Is that same time, or no? That's a different weekend. What weekend is that, Chad? Someone's asking if I'm going to be at the Halloween Kills premiere. I don't know. Probably not. But if I get an invite, yeah, you can bet I will find a way to get there. Assuming that there is like a big Hollywood premiere. Maybe they'll do it in Wilmington. That'd be cool. Now that I could probably swing. That's pretty easy driving distance from where I'm at here in North Carolina. So if they were to do something like that, which isn't out of the question, at least some special premiere screening, because David Gordon Green lives in South Carolina, so it's very possible he and Danny McBride could travel up here. Um, you know, James Jude Courtney's on the East Coast too, so. But we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I'd love to be at the premiere, but He was in the TCM remake. Yeah. Awesome. Nice. Um, okay, another quick little news bite. And again, this one I don't have a whole lot on, but I mentioned this last week. It looks like we're gonna be getting we're gonna be getting a lot of Myers merch this calendar year. I think once the hype chain really kicks in for HK, yeah, we're gonna see very similar to 2018. It's gonna be like an avalanche of merch and items. I mean, I've talked before about the novelization that there's already pre-orders for up in Amazon. Things are taking off. Well, one thing that I didn't expect, but it looks like it's going to be happening, is a new uh, inflatable, a Michael Myers inflatable. He was supposed to happen last year and looked slightly different. And now there's a new version that is currently up on the Target website and it is listed as sold out. But all of the 2021 items, Halloween stuff that they have for sale is listed as sold out right now. So I think that's their way of saying not for sale yet. Um, but yeah, let me know when you guys find this guy because I gotta get one. I gotta have one of this guy. Look at that. That's Michael. That's an inflatable. Stabby Halloween. I love the jack o' lanterns. I love it. I never thought I'd see an officially licensed Michael Myers inflatable, but there you have it. And he is just over 42 inches high. So what's that? About 4 feet? Yeah, 3.5 feet. They say. So yeah, he lights up with energy efficient LEDs, and yeah, he's self inflating like all the awesome um, inflatables that you get now. You know, you just plug them in and they're good to go. But there you can see the official description. It's funny, they call him a creepy clown. uh, I mean, he is known for dressing as a clown, but this is not the clown version of Michael Myers. It's funny that they call him a creepy clown. I'm just now noticing that. Um, it's priced in this listing at $45.99. Again, it's listed as sold out right now. I'm keeping a close eye on this. But this is made by Jimmy. As you can see, we've talked about Jimmy is also bringing us a mini animatronic. They're going to bring us a number of mini animatronics. A Michael Myers one, a Freddy one, and a Jason one. So I'm keeping a close eye on all that. I haven't even, reported on that inflatable. I just, wanted to let you guys know. I mentioned it right at the tail end of last week's broadcast. Again, I'll be getting one. You guys tell me when you find one out there in the wild. I want to see it. I got a feeling like our local Lowe's, we don't even have a Target in the area. We're supposed to be building one soon, but but our Home Depot and Lowe's, all the cool stuff they sell out of so damn quick. It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. Um, yeah, fan says Carpenter has said kills is very good. Yeah, he's been talking it up. They've all been talking it up, saying the right things for sure. That's an awesome lineup, Chad. James is awesome. If you talk to him, tell him that at HDN says hi. Nick Castle, Tommy, they're both so cool to meet. PJ is always very nice, very sweet, very cool, always. Um, we've seen her at so many conventions. She's always amazing. Can't wait to see her again at Scares That Care this year. Tom Atkins is great. Gotta love that. Stabby Michael. Yeah, y'all like that. Yeah, I thought that's pretty awesome. I'm stoked to find that. All right. That's most of the news items except for one that I feel like we got to talk about just a little bit more. And you guys know what I'm talking about. It's Tony Moran. We talked about his, gosh, I don't even know, the video, the infamous Tony Moran compilation where he slams Halloween fans and Halloween cast members and Halloween film and Halloween directing. Just is like slamming everything in a compilation of kind of many of his worst moments ever caught on tape. And like I said last week, if you guys have watched it, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna go into the whole thing. It doesn't, it's hard to watch it and not uh, you know feel that he's got some issues, to say the least. It's a bit unhinged. Um, Today, though, actually yesterday, excuse me, Mr. Moran actually, uh, believe it or not, posted a note to his fans, and it's um, basically an apology. I mean, he does apologize right up front, and says there's no excuse for the language he used, and we'll go over now to this is his Tony Moran's Facebook page, and there you can read. He says, first and foremost, and most importantly for this post, is that I wanted to sincerely and deeply apologize for certain language I used that is contained in a video montage that was made of me. I will not explain the context nor give reasons or excuses. The certain language I used simply on its own, even without context, is deplorable and disgusting. Disgusting. I am deeply ashamed of it, and I always will be. I am very sorry for offending people with it, and hope at some point I'll be forgiven, but I truly would understand if some people never do. Again, this is the number one reason for this post. I have a much lesser issue that I'm going to address, so I appreciate your patience, and it's for the fans of Halloween that don't know me and have never met me. The people that have met me, know me, friends with me, don't have a need for me to explain the video clips in this montage. They know it's ridiculous and childish. The editing is pretty choppy, and he goes on and on. That's the gist of it. You heard it. He apologizes that there's really no excuse for those things said. Um, he does go on to say that his main problem with this National Enquirer or any other gossip rag type of post is not really about defending myself, because it's so easy to find interviews of me. You would see that I almost say the exact same thing in all of them. The truth. This is again quoting him in this post. He says that this is about the fans. His loyalty is to the fans and no one else. He says, without you, the fans, the movie doesn't become what it became. Simple as that. And he goes on to explain, back in 78, he was 21 years old. He says, did I think Halloween was going to be a stupid and a piece of crap? Absolutely. I was actually ashamed of doing it at the time. And yeah, he goes on all things that he says in the video. Again, he's putting it, somewhat into context. Um, and he explains that doing low budget horror was just one step above softcore porn in the late 70s, and so he really was, didn't view the film as anything other than that, and felt it was kind of beneath him, and didn't know until after he had signed on that he would be behind a mask, um, for part of it. And yeah, he talks about Halloween, as far as he knows, is the first horror movie that involved a mask, and so he couldn't have seen that coming. He was broke as a joke and did it. And yeah, he threw the invitation to the premiere in the mail, didn't go, and he says, quote, like an asshole. And yeah, so he says, I tell this part of the story and a lot more, and the rest of my story basically revolves around me being self-deprecating and making fun of myself. And so again, you can read his full thing here. I don't know if you want me to read the entire thing. He does not name who he thinks made the video, because I've wondered that myself. Who who did make this video. I was curious the first time I saw it because it showed up in my YouTube recommended videos, because I'm always watching anything to do with Michael Myers. And of course, I was like, what is this? And before I knew it, it was all over the place. And everybody's done their own reaction videos to it. And now I guess everybody, myself included, we're reacting to this apology. But he doesn't name names. He says, the person I truly believe did this montage obviously doesn't have all of you fans in the best interest. If this person did, why go to these extreme efforts to lie to you? It would only be found out sooner or later. I also understand this person's cowardliness not to identify themselves. The person would be exposed as a blatant liar, lose credibility, etc. This is quoting him. He says that this person has an all-encompassing and consuming obsession with me and has for years and couldn't help but put themselves in one of the video clips. He says, quote, I used to get angry, but for a few years now, I simply find it sad and pathetic because of the editing. If people want to choose to believe it, that's okay with me. People are going to do what they want to do or believe, even if there's facts to disprove it. So, I mean, all of this, and then he again, he doesn't name the person that he says that he thinks is put it together, but he says that that person is apparently taking advantage of an 18-year-old working with them mainly through Instagram to run a fake Tony Moran fan page on Instagram, which is actually not an official Tony Moran or affiliated with him. Again, I don't know about any of that, but I did want to bring it to your attention that, I mean, at the very least, he did at least address this. I think it speaks to the seriousness. I mean, I've seen post people saying things like boycott Tony Moran, I mean, these guys make their livings at these conventions, pretty much. A lot of them, and Tony is a convention regular at a lot of these conventions, and so if fans, were to truly start boycotting him, yeah, I mean, say what you want. This definitely uh, speaks to the seriousness of that video and of the impact. I mean, this was almost like a it's not the same, but it feels almost like the Halloween Hallowverse version of like a Me Too thing, where this guy's getting Me Too'd and has to kind of, either own it or step off. And apparently he's at least accepting some responsibility. Again, you guys, you can find this on your own and go to his Facebook page and see it. It's there. I'm not going to read every word, but yeah, you might want to check that out. If you've got a strong opinion about the video, I don't know. I mean, I gave you my thoughts on the thing last week, which was, it's like I said, it's hard to watch all those things edited together and not, be like, damn, what the fuck. But it's also not a whole lot of things that I haven't really either heard him say or read him saying about him saying or heard other people say that he said. And I told you about my own personal experience with him. It was one convention, Mad Monster Party, and at the Q&A on Friday night with PJ Souls, he was a little rowdy, I'd say. Getting up and moving around amongst the audience and stuff. Again, none of which is unheard of completely, and I don't recall, and I recorded a lot of it. I have to go back and check the tape, but I don't recall him bashing anybody there. But yeah, I mean, he was a little rowdy, but then when I had my few minutes of one-on-one time with him 2 days later, which was on a Sunday after a 3-day convention, and again, as I said last week, maybe he was having a good moment. Maybe he was tired or hungover. Maybe he just. But he seemed calm and well spoken to me, respectful enough,
at that time, he did say some of the things he said that, yeah, he had no idea who Jamie Lee Curtis was because nobody did at the time. And he didn't think the film was going to be anything. I do remember him saying that much, But he actually had a few thoughtful answers about why the character has survived all these years. I don't mean survived in the movies, but like the legacy, the fandom, why it goes on. And he did have a few answers about that. So again, I'm certainly not defending anything in that video. I'm not defending him one way or the other. I'm just pointing out my own personal experience, as limited as it is with him. Um, and as always, I'd love to hear what you guys think. A lot of you guys let me know what you thought last week, but does reading that apology, does that change your opinion at all, or not at all? I mean, I'm just curious to hear. Yeah, I agree, Chad. He's definitely doing damage control. That's yeah. Summit wants to know, what music do I listen to? Fave bands? Oh man. Well, I mean, again, not to get off subject, but I'm at heart a metalhead. I mean, I love Black Sabbath, Pantera, Clutch. I love Clutch. I don't know if you call them metal, but I mean, they're the band that I've actually seen live more than any other band ever. Like I've seen them literally dozens of times. They used to come around where I lived in Virginia for many years, and in my late teens and through my 20s, yeah, I'd go see them all the time, and they were always great. And then when I moved down here to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, they would play down here in Kill Devil Hills a lot of times, at least once or twice a year. So I love them. But yeah, I love metal, hard rock, anything like that. That's kind of my, where's Ryan Korn at? I love Korn. I used to uh, crank them all the time, especially that first album, man. Are you ready? Saw them in concert a bunch of times. So, but I listen to all kinds of stuff now, but definitely metal is where my heart's at when it comes to music. I mean, I can appreciate almost, well, not almost. I can appreciate any genre if it's good. I mean, I don't really like country music, but I mean, am I going to say that Johnny Cash can't? I mean, come on. I mean, there's some good stuff. Even like some Garth Brooks or something. I mean, I can respect good if it's good. I can respect good rap if it's good. I can respect good classical. But no. What do I listen to on my Spotify playlist the most? It's hard rock and metal for sure. That's my go-to. I mean, I love you know Carpenter's music. I love synth music. I mean, I'm a writer, so a lot of times when I'm trying to get in the zone to kind of write something, I don't do a lot of editorializing these days unless it's film reviews and stuff. But a lot of times when I'm trying to be, I'll listen to instrumental music. Then when I'm doing that, a lot of times it's not always metal. It's in fact a lot of times it's soundtrack type music. And I love Carpenter's stuff, his new solo stuff, because it's just like Carpenter soundtrack music, but it's not from any movie. So when I listen to it, I don't see Michael or The Fog or Escape from New York, Snake Plissken, Jack Burton. I see whatever I'm working on, and it helps me. So it depends on what I'm doing to what I'm listening to. But yeah, it's, concerts and stuff. I've been to mostly metal concerts. That's what I want to get back to one day eventually. But yeah, yeah, rock on, guys. Have I heard "Stabbing in the Dark" by Ice Nine Kills? Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, and they're another one. They're a new band that I have really gotten into here recently since discovering them through Stabbing in the Dark, which they're another one. Their official account does the Michael Myers Monday hashtag all the time. They haven't the last couple of weeks, but yeah. Iceland Kills gets into the Michael Myers Monday participation pretty regularly, and yeah, he is that whole band. They're obviously huge uh, fans of this franchise, and that song specifically, I love that song. Y'all like that "Stabbing in the Dark" by Iceland Kills? I mean, I like a lot of their stuff. I like their Friday the 13th song. I like every song is an ode to one of the slashers. But I love "Stabbing in the Dark." Obviously, I mean that's great. I love the breakdown. It's all good stuff. All right. Well, I said I was gonna try to keep it brief and around an hour, and here we go, pushing 90 minutes again, guys. Almost midnight. Oh man. And I still haven't even gotten to this week's tweets and posts. All right, we're just gonna run through them here. Um, Kane asked about Insane Clown Posse. Yeah, I mean, I like them. I don't I can't name any of their stuff right offhand. I remember kind of when they first came out, hearing more about them. I don't think I ever saw them in concert, but I went to a lot of the Ozfest concerts back in the day, and so there was a lot of bands that were playing on different stages that I was there for a few minutes for, but and I don't even remember all of them. But I don't think I ever saw them in concert. But they look like they'd be, a fun show to go to, a live show for sure. All right, guys, let's go over to today's roundup of hashtag Michael Myers Monday tweets and Instagram posts. Okay, this is our new thing that we feature, and it's because it's like I say every week. I started this hashtag 2013. Celebrate Michael Myers, make Mondays, give something to look forward to on Mondays, have fun. Now, throughout social media, everybody does their own thing. They've come up with their own memes and gifs and just all kinds of infusing their own meanings into what Michael Myers Monday is. And it can be showing off their cosplay or your collection or just stills from the movie or whatever it is. First up, though, is this is from Robert Mundy. And Robert Mundy is part of this Halloween verse that I'm always talking about on Twitter. You guys follow the characters in the Halloween verse. Follow the hashtag Halloween verse. Follow the account. And follow Robert Mundy. He is at Robert Mundy WWAR. Now, talk about true fans. True fans know who Robert Mundy is. If you don't remember, I'll go ahead and tell you, he is the reporter in Halloween 2 who is reporting on the murders that took place, the events of Halloween 1. So now Robert Mundy has joined the Twitter Halloween verse. And he says today, good morning, Halloween verse. As Haddonfield braces itself for another Michael Myers Monday, the Sheriff's Department struggles with mysterious invitations for donuts and coffee. And down there you see even Deputy Pierce from H4 is also participating, not in Michael Myers Monday per se, but in the Halloween verse there. So again, check out the Halloween verse. They're hilarious every week, just every day. They're always in character, always posting hilarious stuff in character from Haddonfield. It's pretty inventive, pretty awesome. All right, moving along. Next, also from Twitter. This is from Schlockluster Video. Have a great Michael Myers Monday, horror fan. Here's some fan art on an alpaca stationery note to mark the occasion. So I thought that was pretty cool. Definitely a good likeness, and considering he just threw it together, it sounds like pretty impressive. Up next, Christopher Harper at Ghostface1288 says, Happy Michael Myers Monday, hashtag Halloween Kills. And I just love this. Waiting for that Halloween trailer to drop. Aren't we all, Christopher? Aren't we all? I hear you, man. Yeah, we are all that is of course from the TV version of Halloween '78, not the theatrical cut. It is one of those additional scenes they filmed while they were in production for Halloween 2. So I thought that was pretty fitting because we all are. Moving over to Instagram now. This one is from Caitlin1981. Another GIF I thought was fitting for us today. Killing time waiting for Halloween. Again, aren't we all, Caitlin? Tell me about it. We all are. Moving along up next. Now, this still is was not created for this meme. This still is actually from a fan film called H60, and it came out back in 2018. But this is from Andy for the Money on Instagram. After COVID-19 is over and Halloween Kills is finally released, and there you see a very balding, hunched over 60-year-old Michael Myers. Not 60-year-old. I guess he would be 80 years old. The franchise would be 60 years old, so he'd be 81 now. So I thought that was pretty funny. And here's James Hernandez Multiverse says, "Is it Monday already?" With some stills. I like how he threw in a little bit of H2O, a little bit of 2018, a little bit of Curse and Revenge and H2 with all of his 78s. And finally, still from Instagram, this is user I am Payman. Happy Michael Myers Monday, and he is showing off his Don Post 98.99 that he says is by AJ Replicas and Creations. Pretty dang good replica, I gotta say. Pretty impressive. All right, so that's this week's Triple M, blah, blah, Triple M tweets and posts. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up here in just a minute. I did bring one brief clip that it's actually not loaded up in my program, but I'm gonna try to run it right off of YouTube for you guys if you want to see it. This one is another one from the 40 Years of Terror convention in South Pasadena in 2018, right before Halloween 2018 opened. It was the largest gathering of Halloween franchise alums ever assembled. And it was just a magical time for everybody that was there. We had a great time. You've heard me talk about it a ton. So now I'm going to play you a clip that this is from the Halloween 2018 panel. And this was just a fun moment. And again, this just goes along, I guess you could say, with the theme of conventions and getting back into convention life, hopefully soon, getting back to kind of being around people soon. Because one of our favorite things, my wife and I, is to be able to be there and to be able to capture these epic magic moments that, not everybody can be around for. And, history needs to be captured because history is made at these events. And for me, this clip is an example of one of those type events. So I'm going to play this. This is during the Halloween 2018 panel. You'll see James Jude Courtney is there, and David Gordon Green, and a whole bunch of others. And then Nick Castle crashes the panel. He literally surprised everybody up there. Christopher Nelson's up there. Malik Akkad is up there. Ryan Turk's up there. They're all up on the panel. And anyway, I'll let you watch this. And it's less than 2 minutes long. And then I'll be back on here. And again, full disclosure, hopefully this works. And if not, then I just told you about it. So I don't know what we'll do. But let's see if this works. Here we go.
Sorry, guys.
And
Turn the volume up.
anyway,
All right.
I'll let
Let's
you
try
watch
it now.
this. And it's less than 2 minutes long, and then I'll be back on here. And
Still not working. Hang on, guys. I was getting some sound coming in from this. So let's try that again. Now. All right. Now, I think we can. Let's try this again, shall we, guys? And play.
So Jim, tell us about what you wanted to bring to the role of Michael Myers. Like, where is Michael Myers at after these 40 years have passed?
You know, that's an intellectual question that I don't have an answer for because I didn't intellectualize anything about this character. You know, I studied with Stella Adler and had Royal Academy coaches, and there are very distinct ways that normally I would work on a character. But for this one, it goes back to a great old comedian, comic actor named Ted Knight.
You know, this was in my contract. I'm supposed to be at every one of these, and look, they didn't invite me. Come on! No, I'm just kidding.
Are they doing okay, you guys? Okay. Bye.
What? See, he's an old guy, he's loud and vigorous. So,
Thank you, Dave. Nick Castle, let me hear it, guys. You can be one of the man for the original Boogeyman. Let me hear it!
Yeah, there we go. Was that awesome or what, guys? Yeah, so that's the type of stuff that we love to be there for as much as possible. There's another great moment from that weekend. There's so many great moments, and I've put a lot of them on this channel. And there's another great one. It's only about 30 seconds long, though, so I'm not going to play it right now. But it's actually in the very early moments of the first day of the convention. Bear in mind, this is James Jude Courtney's first ever convention appearance. Now he's a regular on the circuit. But this was the first time ever. And he had just gotten there. The doors had just opened. And my wife and I, we saw him, and we go running over, to say hi, because I've talked to him throughout the year. But, this is our first time meeting in person. And then a few minutes later, after we've done our thing, here comes Nick Castle running over to literally welcome the new shape. The original shape, welcoming the new shape. Not just to the franchise, metaphorically, literally though, to his first convention, on the bigger sense, to the convention scene, to the fandom. I mean, it was pretty awesome to see. But those again are the kinds of moments that we love at these conventions and at these types of events. So I have no doubt that when Scares That Care comes along in late July or early August, and then this Haunted Screams in September, hopefully we're going to be capturing some more magic moments. And then, regarding Halloween Kills and Ends, who knows where we may find ourselves and what type of magic moments we might be capturing, beyond that. So, yeah, the 40th convention was fantastic, David. You're right. It was just like one of the best times we've ever had. I mean, we talk about it all the time, and hoping to do it again for the 45th.
See, Ryan Korn is in here. I mentioned you earlier, man. We were talking about metal and what kind of music I like best. I love metal, but I threw out some Korn. I love me some Korn, some old school Korn, especially. Good to see you here, man. Thank you for the nice words, Ryan. Summit's asking if I'm going to see Spiral in theaters when it releases May 14th. It's only in theaters, no streaming. Well, I will have my second shot by then, so it's conceivable. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Part of it depends on if they're going to send me a screener or not. To be honest, if every now and then the studios will send me a screener or something ahead of time. If they're going to do that, then I'll probably watch it here and review it that way. I'll see. I mean, I'm definitely going to see it sooner or later. Whether or not I'm going to go to our local theater. But like I said, I mean, my wife and I, we both had our first shot, and we're going to have our second one, I think, first week of May. So, by May 14th, of course, it won't be 14 days after that second shot, but we will have had it. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The only one I can tell you that I'm definitely planning to see in a theater and venture back into theater if I haven't before then is on October 15th or 14th, I was going to say, if they're doing premiere showings on the Thursday before for HK. Now, before then, maybe. I don't know. But no, I'm a big Scream fan. Somebody says, don't think Matt's a big Scream fan. Yeah, I'm a huge Scream fan. Definitely looking forward to the new Scream movie. All right, guys. Slipknot. Yeah, I love Slipknot. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? I could tell you some stories, man, if we're going to get into metal. But Slipknot, first time I ever heard those guys. I had never heard their music. I never heard of them. This was at an Ozfest. Gosh, I don't even know what year it was. But I want to say their first album wasn't even out yet. And if it was, it had just come out. But they were on stage. They were like the opening band on the second stage, or maybe even like the third stage or something. I just remember we got there. Ozfest gates open at like 10:30 in the morning. It's like 11 a.m. Like we're barely even awake, and everybody like zombies files in, and you just start following the sound of the live music. And we all end up on this side stage, nowhere near the big amphitheater stage. It's this side stage, and we look up, and there's Slipknot doing their thing up there. You know, all of them. All of them up there, fully masked. Their first masks. The first album. Me and my buddies, we had never heard of these guys or heard the music, and we're not even barely awake. We haven't even started drinking or anything yet, and there they are. Welcome to Ozfest, and it was great. It was great. Needless to say, a few days later, I went out and bought the CD, their first one, and yeah, I love it. I love it. I love everything they do. So, oh wow, you dated Mick's wife's twin sister Megan. Wow, crazy, awesome. That's very cool, man. Saint, talking about typo. See, now we're getting off the franchise. It's after midnight. You guys always do this to me. I'm signing off, and then you guys suck me in with all this. Yeah, typo negative, man. And some great Halloween music there too that Peter Steele left with us, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, great Halloween music. Pretty much anything that they recorded makes good Halloween music. But I mean, Black Number One, yeah, that's a staple on my October playlist. Byron wants to know if we'll see a Scream 6 in 2024 or 25. I don't know. I that's a tough one because again, I do love the Scream franchise, and I don't want them to just make more movies because this next one makes a ton. Because I do think this next one's going to make a ton of money. I hope it's really good. I think it's going to be good. I think these guys, it's the first one without Wes Craven, as we all know, but I do think these guys, like, they're going to treat this movie, with the respect that David Gordon Green and his crew are treating the franchise. In other words, they grew up on Scream and Wes Craven as their, much like David Gordon Green's generation, and many of us grew up with Halloween '78 in that place. That's what I feel. That's what they've said in their interviews and their press releases that have been put out so far. And it sounds like that's how they got some of these legacy cast members to come back, because I don't think, money, you know, money's louder than everything in Hollywood, but I don't know that Nev Campbell needs to come back to play Sydney again, and I don't think that she necessarily would if it wasn't something kind of special and paying tribute to Wes and to that original film, and I think it will, and I'm actually very excited for it. I'm very curious and excited, and yeah, no reservations about the new one. Now, beyond that, a part 6, as to whether that'll come out 2 years later or 3 years later, I'd say give it some time. So, earliest 3 years, to answer your question. Earliest 2025. But I don't even know that we necessarily need, the original Scream is what it is. The second one kind of deconstructed sequels. The third one kind of deconstructed trilogies. And then we got the fourth one, which was kind of, its own version of a requel. It kind of did its own Halloween 2018 thing where it's kind of retelling the story, but at the same time a sequel, and I really enjoyed that and thought that was really well done. So in other words, I guess what I'm getting at is maybe we only need a new Scream movie about every decade or so. I don't know, though. Maybe I like this new one so much that I just can't wait to see what they do next. I don't know. But yeah, answer your question, minimal wait 3 years. I don't think we need one that quick. But that's not a prediction, because again, prediction is it all depends on money. But my hopes are they're not going to rush anything. Like they didn't rush this one. They could have done another Scream at any point. They waited for whatever reasons until now, and I'm cool with that. Which, by the way, this is the 25th anniversary year this year. The new Scream technically comes out in January, so 2022. But 2021 is the 25th anniversary of the original Scream. It came out actually in December of 96. So. 9 Inch Nails. Oh, yeah. Closer. Yeah, saw 9 Inch Nails in concert. That was an epic concert. Love Trent Reznor. He's another one like Carpenter. I can listen to his instrumental music and for certain moods, but then he's got, his raging side. Like, I love that Pretty Hate Machine first album. So good. Still love that album the best. Yeah, the Iowa album. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, the first Scream, Ryan, yeah, the first Scream is like classic, if you ask me. Like, it is, not quite as high as Halloween, but pretty damn close. I think it's that fucking good. I love it. Like, I like the first Scream more than A Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. Like, any of those films, I like the first Scream more. Now, the sequels, like with anything, they kind of, they're not going to reach quite that level. But I'm a huge 96 Wes Craven Scream fan, specifically of that original film. And I love the franchise in general. But yeah, that original film now, my personal, so I love that. I met Roger Jackson, actually, at the last convention we attended, which was, so long ago now. It was only a little over a year ago, but man, so much has happened in that time. But I got to shake his hand before handshaking stopped being a thing anymore. But yeah, so it's like we got the teacher off track with the music. Yeah, you did all right, but that's cool. That's cool. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here though. It is after midnight. We're coming up on 2 hours. Like I said, this is twice as long as I plan on being on here tonight, but this is what always happens, it seems like, and that's cool because I do enjoy catching up with you guys. Hopefully I gave you some news that maybe you hadn't heard yet. Um, Again, nothing locked in on that HN stuff, but keep watching, and as soon as I know, you guys will know. I do plan on doing like some kind of special video whenever the teaser poster drops, with the exception of if it's tomorrow, because again, it's my son's birthday. I'm probably going to be a little preoccupied with him, so my video dissecting the poster will most likely be the following day, if it happens tomorrow. Aside from that, though, whatever day it happens, most likely I'll jump on here, probably for a live that day, that evening. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not promising. But for now, the plan will be back here next Monday. It'll be our first Monday of May 2021. So there's that. So join me then. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, hit that bell, turn on your notifications so that you know as soon as we go live, as soon as we schedule a live, or any of our upcoming videos. And if you guys are watching any of the other videos, like the Halloween show or any of our videos, I do appreciate that. Obviously, every little bit helps. Every view, every share, every like, every comment, it all helps us get in the algorithms even better. And if you guys are here, then you appreciate the content I'm putting out a little bit. So, and I appreciate that. I hope you know. So, help us reach more like-minded people like you guys and like myself that will appreciate this content. It's not for everybody, but it is for certain people. Basically the cool people like us. So, all right, everybody. Rock on, metalheads. We'll talk metal on a different thing. I was thinking sometime I want to do not even Myers related at all, but sometime I want to do a whole thing just about Halloween music, Halloween songs, and just good Halloween friendly bands and stuff like that. So maybe we could do something like that at some point. And a lot of these names that you guys are talking about obviously would come into play there. But that's for another night. All right, I'm going to get out here, go celebrate my son's birthday, and wrap a couple gifts. You guys have a good week. Thanks for being here as always. You make it worth it every week. Believe it or not, every Monday I wake up and I'm not even sure if I'm going to do this live some weeks, and then I go about, and then like this week it was like news items came, like wound up on my front door. So I'm like, well, now we got more stuff to talk about. We kind of gotta, but you guys showing up obviously makes it all worth it. So thanks for being here. Happy Michael Myers Monday. A drink to you guys. Salute to you all. All right, guys. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.